Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Muna Shibal and I'm a manifestation and soul realignment coach. My channel is geared towards helping you become the highest version of yourself so that you can create and live the extraordinary life that is your birthright. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why presence is the super fastest way to manifest. But before we get started, I want you to know that I've just launched 2 new offerings. One is called Identity Shifting, which is something that I'm super excited to offer at this stage. It's basically me helping you shift into a more preferred parallel reality and stay there. So I will be working with you on that one-to-one to help you shift into your desired reality. That is the first thing. The second thing is I've now incorporated group coaching into my offerings. On the first Wednesday of every month, I will be offering group coaching via Zoom. So if this is something that interests you, also check it out in the description below. Both are listed in the description below. However, seats are limited for group coaching, so please be sure to sign up right away, because once it fills up, I will not be taking more people. In the group coaching, I will be offering you a questionnaire to fill out in advance so I know the background of every person involved, and it will be a small group of people in order to make sure that they get the utmost value. So please do check out. Both offerings are in the description below. And of course, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button in order to receive a notification anytime I upload a new video. So let's get started. I am one of those people who is super interested in the workings of the mind, because I think that one of the critical things that people face is obsessive thinking. And mind you, I am someone who has practiced controlling my thoughts to a great extent. But sometimes there are areas of your life where obsessive thinking can really get the best of you. And many more people than we know are prone to experience that. Though, of course, we don't want to instill that as a belief for anyone. But if you are in any shape or form experiencing obsessive thoughts, it's like any other addiction. It's almost like you can't stop it. So this is where it's so valuable to understand how you can control your thoughts in a way that will not only help you disconnect from your mind, because the last thing you want is for your mind to be in control. You don't want to be a victim to your mind. You also want to be able to manifest everything that you want. And in today's video, I will be showing you how you can do that. When you understand how our mind is made up, our physical mind, you'll really get this. So of course, being in a physical body, being in this physical reality, we are living in a duality-based universe. So we have polarity. In order for us to experience what love means, we need to know what fear means. In order to experience gain, we have to experience loss. So of course we don't have to experience them, but it's there for us to know what the opposite of each other means. So we have good, bad, hot, cold, positive, negative, love, fear. We have the broad spectrum in between as well. Now, when you look at the duality-based mind, I did a small chart here. And of course, this can also be viewed in this way. Like the emotional vibrational scale is usually showing the positive up here and then the negative up here. So here's love and then here is fear, anxiety, depression. It's the lowest thing on the scale. But you can also look at it in this perspective. Your thoughts, your experiences, your emotions are all duality based. Okay, they're polarity based. So here you have love, here you have fear, here you have positive, negative, love, fear, good, bad, up, down. You have positive thoughts, you have negative thoughts. You have positive emotions, you have negative emotions. You have good experiences, you have bad experiences. And as you move down from here, you're getting closer to neutral. It's becoming less positive. And when you're here going up towards neutral, they're becoming less negative. So here is the middle point. Now, when you understand how you are creating, you'll really get this. We're always thinking thoughts. Most of the time, unless we're really practicing presence, there are thoughts going on in our minds. And so what ends up happening is sometimes you're thinking very positive thoughts, and when you're saying your affirmations, you're here. When you're feeling your affirmations, you're here. You're feeling really good. You're up here. And sometimes you might be here and then you think something that reminds you of an incident that happened. Let's say you traveled somewhere and you had a lot of fun, and you're here, you're remembering this incident with a group of friends, and it's not super high up, you're here. So it's not on the far end of the scale, you're kind of here. You're in a place of content or hopefulness or whatever. So you're on this part of the scale, and then as you're chatting with your friends, you're remembering, and then suddenly, because you're talking about that trip, things that happened on that trip will also show up. And because it's not super high, it might be something that's around here, you know, something that's in close resonance to where you are, and then you're at neutral, and then suddenly you find yourself going into the negative range. So you remember an incident where an accident happened and something bad happened, and because it's on that trip, it's in close proximity to it, and so you find yourself over there. And believe it or not, that is how you are creating all the time, because you're thinking all the time. You're likely going to sometimes attract things that are here. Now, of course, not necessarily. If you're high up, it's not close enough. You will not go there. You will not go here. If you're here, you're not going to go here. You'll find it hard, especially if you've built momentum for the whole day. But the problem is sometimes we start going down slowly. And when your thoughts are active, you are always in creation mode. Thoughts create. Assumptions create. Emotions that go along with thoughts and assumptions magnetize. So you're automatically fueling these thoughts and assumptions with feelings. So you could be in a place, I always say, you don't have to be flying high to manifest. You can be here. You can be in a place of contentment, and you can absolutely manifest what you want. The only problem is you're also in close vicinity to thoughts that are not ideal. And because things like thoughts are linked to each other, you find yourself, oh, you're thinking about that trip, and suddenly you're talking about an accident that happened on that trip that you really didn't want to remember. So you're suddenly in this space here. So how does this relate to manifesting? So let's say you want to manifest abundance, or you want to manifest yourself running your dream job, or you want to manifest yourself in a relationship. And what you're doing is you're saying affirmations, you're here. Sometimes you don't even need to be up here. I always tell my clients, you can be here when you're saying your affirmations, so long as you're not here. Because when you're repeating words and feeling negative is what supersedes, because technically you're thinking the opposite of it. So if you're saying, I have a lot of money, you're actually saying, I don't have a lot of money, if you're feeling negative. Because the negative has to coincide with a thought, and the thought, or a subconscious thought. So automatically you're feeling negative. You can't possibly be identifying with the words you're saying. So I always say, you want to be in this space. You don't have to be up here. You can be here and say your affirmations. Just don't be here, because then you're manifesting the opposite of them. You cannot be saying beautiful words and feeling negative unless you're activating the opposite of them. So that's the key. You don't want to be repeating affirmations here. So when you are thinking about manifesting something, you can be in this range and you're absolutely building momentum on them. You're thinking positive thoughts around your manifestation, and they're building up and becoming bigger and bigger. Your assumptions, they're going to harden into fact if you stay in this space. The problem is sometimes when your mind is overly active, like we said before, you're here, you start to attract thoughts that are not as positive. And so then you find yourself going into a negative place, because then it kind of spirals down into similar thoughts that go with it. And so what you want to be doing is this: when you are trying to manifest something, and you're focused on a certain topic, you want to avoid going into the opposite of it, because what you're doing is neutralizing. So let's say you want to manifest money, or you want to manifest a relationship. You think a lot of positive thoughts, but then equally you're thinking a lot of negative thoughts, not on a given day, but in a period of time. So the negative thoughts are neutralizing the positive, and so they don't harden into fact. Your new reality does not harden into fact. So the best way for you to truly manifest fast is to say your affirmations here in any shape. Here you can be here in a place of content, or you could be flying high, whatever you want. If you do rampages, they can really take you up. And the best way for you to not create, because anytime you're in duality, you're creating. So you don't want to create the opposite of what you're saying. So you're saying your affirmations the whole day, and then, you know, your mental diet is going all over the place, and you're kind of neutralizing everything. So you don't want to do that. You want to stay in this area here. And by staying in this area here, sometimes, like I said, you find yourself in close vicinity. So the best thing you can do is say your affirmations 3 times a day. Say a full list of affirmations and saturate your mind with it, and be in that feeling good place. And then you get off the topic. You get off the topic as much as possible. And you don't just get off the topic of your manifestation, you get off most topics. So you practice being in a neutral place. Why does that work? Because first of all, practicing being in a neutral place is a place of pure neutrality, pure awareness. That's the vibration of your soul. It's pure awareness. It's non-duality based. It's pure presence, pure awareness. It's neither good nor bad. It's non-judgmental. And that's actually what Eckhart Tolle teaches people, is to disengage with the mind. Because even though you can be thinking positive thoughts, a lot of the time you're also thinking negative thoughts, especially when there's a lot of obsessive thinking. So being in a place of presence is the neutral place. And the most important aspect of this is the following. In this neutral place, there is no creation, because creation is coming from the duality-based mind. That's where creation happens. In the neutral place, in the presence place, you can rest assured you're not going opposite of the affirmations you said. You're in a non-creative spot. It's a neutral place. And in that place is actually also the place of receiving. It's the place of allowing. So you're kind of either here, which is great because you manifest things that are like it, or here, which is a place of receiving. That's also why I tell my clients, don't be repeating affirmations all the time, because that's a place of doing, of creating. You want to be in a place of receiving. You will really be able to manifest like never before. You say your affirmations, you rampage on them, you say them, and then you get off the topic. Because if you're on the topic, you are likely to trigger some thoughts that are in close vicinity, which can end up very fast spiraling into a negative place, unless you've truly built momentum for the day. But sometimes we just, you know, our thoughts go somewhere, you don't know why, and you know, boom, you find yourself in a negative place and you're feeling horrible all of a sudden. This is a guaranteed way for you to manifest super fast. Just disengage the mind, get into a place of presence, and you want to also make sure that you do not judge your thoughts. So if you find yourself going in a negative spiral, just come back into presence. Because I used to be very self-critical, and then I'd criticize myself for having negative thoughts, and then I'd feel bad all over again. And then you go into this place of negativity. You don't want to do that. That's still in your mind. You're still in your mind. You want to come back into presence and become aware of the thoughts as they're happening with no judgment. And then you can release them, because the judgment takes you back into your mind. The mind is what's judging you. It's not your presence. So being in a place of presence is you are aligning with the source within you, with your higher self, with your spirit. And that's where it's a very neutral place. I hope this makes perfect sense. And if it does, then please hit like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.